Okay, shalom, 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 kwam yasha'Allah, koholoyim la Yahweh bashim Yahushai, bahashem rachach. Double honors to our apostles and to our elders of Great Millstone who do rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth, and just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Aqua that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. Jachana Nawaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And I was just reading, and what chapter I was in, Genesis 35, I think it was, and it just, looking at, let me see here, we're in Genesis now, but Genesis, I think it's 35, Salakia, bear with me real quick. But just going off into the men of the scriptures having multiple wives, our forefathers having multiple wives, and I know today, it's like, there's, and especially in Western society, as far as the United States, or just the so-called white man in general, that's something that he's not with. He's with the opposite of what the Lord wants, because the Lord told us to, be fruitful and multiply. So, of course, he's going to be against that. That's the reason why he has, like abortion centers set up. Hell, he's got morning after pills and shit and vending machines on college campuses. And, this man is totally against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and his way of doing things. But they front as if they're the righteous people, So, but this is coming back to the children of Israel. We're going to be, and we are, as the sand of the sea, or like the dust of the land, because we are a multiplied people. And Esau can't keep up with us, and Israelites look like all nations. We've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And the men of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Jamaicans, Haitians, Dominicans, things that, those different names that the colonizers gave us, we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and we've laid down and have sex with the women of those nations. And the seed line goes by the father. So there are Israelites that's out here that look like Italians, or what they would call, French or German or Belgians, or, all these European nations and China and Japan. There are, people that are Israelites that actually look like these people. So when we go out on the highways and byways, that's something that we have to bring out and have to touch on. But, the main thing that I wanted to touch on in this particular lesson is, the so-called black women, these women here in the Western society in America, get to talking about how you're mine, and no one else's, and, with all this weirdoism. I mean, because it is actually weird, but we are in the land of our captivity. And the so-called white man, he doesn't want us to multiply. I'm telling you, he promotes things to keep us from, having children, man. And the main people that be marching for these things it's our women. They're marching to abort our babies. Straight up, man. The so-called white man, the serpent, has set Eve up to do the most abominable things to us as a nation, man. And they're just not getting it. But it's going to come a point where we're going to go back to who we originally were, our original state, But what made me come up with this lesson, I was reading, like I said, Genesis 35. That's one of the books I'm reading in right now, kind of doing a chapter or so a day, maybe two, whatever. Depends on the spirit. But this is Genesis 35 and 23. It says, the sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun. Okay, so now this is the first woman. Now we're talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. Now you have Israelite women out here that are talking as if, they go against this. But if it wasn't for these four women that our forefather Jacob was with, they wouldn't be here to talk the stuff that they're talking. You know what I'm saying? So they come from these four women, but yet they're ashamed of our heritage in that way. Right? And then it says the sons of Rachel. Here's the second wife, Joseph and Benjamin. Then the sons of Bilhah. Okay, so here we go with a third woman, third wife, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah. Here's the fourth wife, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, which were born to him in Padan Naram. So all of our ancestors, we come from these 12 sons, which come from these four women. which came from that one man, Jacob, which his name was changed to Israel, Yashala. So, I just wanted to just touch on this for a second. Then I went off into Google. I just went in there and just said, I typed in what Bible scriptures say that, men had multiple wives. And here you go. You got a list of them. You got Esau. He had multiple wives. You can get that account in Genesis 26:34, 28, 6-9. Jacob, Genesis 29 through 15 through 28, which we kind of just read off the list, but it was in chapter 35, of course. Then you got Elkanah, 1 Samuel 1 through 8. You had King David, 1 Samuel 25:39 through 44. And then you had 2 Samuel, King Solomon, of course, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And nowhere in the scriptures are you going to see where the Lord said it was anything wrong with that. He said to be fruitful and multiply. Matter of fact, there's a scripture where it says, where it talks about if you have a wife or multiple wives. Let me see how it was worded. Salakia, bear with me. Okay, Salakia, this is Deuteronomy 21:15, and it's the rights of the firstborn, right? But check it out. This is a law. This is what's given from the Lord. It says, if a man have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. So basically what it's going into, is just talking about, that's just like with Jacob. When Jacob first, went to his uncle Laban, so to speak, he wanted Rachel. He worked 7 years for Rachel, but he was, basically, fooled, and Leah was given to him. So he worked another 7 years, for Rachel, but he loved Rachel more than he loved Leah. That's an account of that. You know what I'm saying? But this is going off into, if you have two wives, one of them you don't like as much, but the first, and matter of fact, the wife that Jacob didn't like was Leah. She had, the most of the children of Israel. She, because Rachel was barren for a minute. That's I think the very first of, as far as on Rachel's end, if I'm not mistaken, Salaki, I may have to go into it, but I think it was her handmaid that had her, a son first, before she even did, before the Lord opened up her womb, if I'm not mistaken. But that's not the important part of what I'm saying here. The thing of it is this is a law that if you had multiple wives, if you had a son by the one wife that you hated, you had to, give your inheritance. You had to give that inheritance by the rules and laws and statutes of the Lord to the firstborn. Though you may have hated that woman, you know what I'm saying? But still, what the point that I'm trying to make is, we're talking about two wives here. This is just, if you have, let's get it again. It says if a man have two wives. So where is it? Now you got these Christians, they'll tell you about, they love the Lord, but they'll have women all in the pulpit preaching, even though the scripture says don't. So it's all kinds of stuff that the women, you can't pick and choose when it comes to the scriptures, man. When it comes to the scriptures, you got to take it all. You got to take the bitter with the sweet, man. You have to, because other than that, you would be adding to and taking away from the Holy Scriptures, which is, you don't want the curses of the book to be on you, man. Because things could get bad for you if you out here picking and choosing and, I don't believe, but I believe this. Well, why even believe any of it? If you got a portion, if you got one smidgen, 0.0.0.0.1% of anything that you don't agree with the scriptures, you might as well just put the whole book away. But like I said again, had our forefather not gotten with these four women, the 12 tribes of Israel would not be here, and these women that are talking all that shit, Salakia, wouldn't be here to even be talking all the shit that they talking. Pushing Esau, Edom, the serpents, doctrine, man. Because that's basically what they're doing. You're pushing Esau, Edom's doctrine. Here you go. You've been in America so long. This man, you don't feel as if you're married unless he gives you a certificate and tells you that, okay, you're married. You need his permission. You need his approval. Which is crazy as hell. You go to this man's courthouse, you go through, you got some guy and claiming to be a preacher, but he's learned his whole theological doctrine from the so-called white man, from his theological school, that don't know nothing about the scriptures, but you feel as if they don't tell you that now I pronounce you man and wife, they stamp some shit. Now all of a sudden the so-called white man of the state, which owns you anyway, that owner has given you permission to, now you can love each other. And then he also writes the same laws that can tell a woman that she can bounce on any man that she want. Have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 baby daddies. Same guy now. But you believe in a so-called white man like that. You believe in the serpent. But when it comes to the scriptures, you don't want to believe in that. Because when it comes straight down to it, when you really think about it, if women really had sense, and I've been seeing it's been a couple of Edomite women. Basically, their husbands done left them or whatever. And these women have grouped up and they have come into one home by themselves with their children from each marriage, 3, 4, 5 different, whatever. But they're putting their money together within those households, helping to take care of the children. They ain't worried about shit. When one woman need a night off, she can just go out and just go chill. They got the money to do so. They got brand new vehicles. They living in $1 million home. Why? Because they've collectively got together and put their money together. So just think, if women can do that on the dolo, think about if it was like that with a man in that situation. You see what I'm saying? Everybody doing something to bring something to the family fold, to the household, so to speak. Just think about that. Think about how much more you would get done, how much stressful you would be. Here you go, you got the so-called black woman out here. She's playing the man, she's playing the woman, and she's straight tired of her kids. She loves them, but she's tired of them. And it makes her hate anybody around her, basically. It's just toxic, man. She got to get up. She got to wash him up. She got to put clothes on him. She got to take him to the nursery. She got to take him to daycare and take him to the dentist and take him to ball, taking them. And then she get home. She got to cook and she got to do all this. But you know who gave you that idea? The so-called white man. He gave it to you. He pushed you women out here into the world because he wanted more taxes. You just became another individual to pay taxes. Why he gave it to you all in the name of you should be, as free as the man. We're all equals. And y'all fell for it. But I just wanted to touch on this. I didn't want to keep it long, nothing too long. I was just reading off into this particular chapter, and it just, kind of hit me in the spirit, like, well, damn, if these 4 women had not had sex with Jacob and these children were born, then these women that's here today wouldn't be here to even be talking all the crap they be talking. Trying to hold a man down, and then they on these social media sites and talking, oh my goodness, man. It's all out of hand. But you know what? This right here is coming. This is coming right here, though. This Isaiah 4:1. It's coming, and when it comes, it's gonna be so horrific out here. It's gonna have to be horrific for this to happen. Isaiah 4:1. It says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So you're gonna have 7 women to one man. It's about to get crucial out here, and a lot of the reason why that's gonna be because, a lot of these dudes are about to get drafted. They about to go to war, get their damn heads blown off. And then you're going to have the ones that's left around that don't even want to deal with you. And then you're going to have that LGBTQ group, which is probably about 25, 30%, they don't want nothing to do with you women anyway. Then you got that other group of men that just like, they done been through so much shit with you. They don't want no parts of you. So we'll see how it plays out, man. We don't know the details. I'm just, speaking as a man, but it's got to be some pretty horrific things going on for a woman in this day and time that won't even accept one man. Hell, a man can walk up on a single woman and ask her, hey, how you doing? I'm such and such, such and such. They don't even want to deal with you on that level. Just walking up on them cordially, asking them out, for dinner, a cup of coffee, whatever the case may be. We talking about, and these going to be the baddies, the pretties. Because they're not going to want to be out here alone with the savages, man. Because it's going to be a group of men that's just going to be just straight damn savages. They're not going to care about your feelings. There ain't going to be no 911 to call. So when all these things go down, hey, we going to see how it play out, though. Because it's going to have to be something real super dramatic for 7 women. Because the whole world is pretty much, on the tip of Western society. Even I don't care what country you go to now, you'll think you in America with the women. But this place is horrible here in America. This America, oh my, oh my. And I hate to put it, hate to put it out there, but man, the so-called black woman is the worst to talk to in America as far as marriage. You can't get no, you playing yourself. If you a guy, you got money, you done made a career for yourself, hey man, you might as well just play the field. You get married to one of these so-called black women, she gonna put you through the ringer, bro. She gonna take every guy, she gonna take everything that you got. Why? Cause she's able to use Esau's tools that has been given to her, because the women have been given tools to destroy a man. It's not no family structure here, man. The so-called white man, he killed all that. There ain't no family structure. Get the hell out of here. This man doesn't do nothing but steal, kill, destroy, and divide. And he has pushed that on our women. And it's so toxic to the point where it's nothing that you can do about it. Do we love our women? Of course we do. But we understand that they're weapons against us now. You can't get around it. You have to realize that. You'll be a fool to not factor that in. Now, I'm not saying, hey, if you come across somebody that you want to, kick it with, and it's y'all can do it, man. Up to you. That's, I would pray about it. Flip a coin, man. Cast a lot. You don't want to get caught up out here with one of these pretty monsters, man. Because there's some pretty monsters out here. Motherfuckers be gorgeous as hell, but be the exact opposite on the inside, all the way to the core. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on this for a hot sec. Hey, there's nothing wrong with multiple wives. The so-called white man goes against the scriptures in every way. He calls bittersweet. He calls night day. This man is just destructive. He's not with anything that's got to do with the living, man. He's all about death. Look at him. Everything he put his hands to, he get to talking to you about safety and peace. But as soon as he get going, what he telling you gonna keep you safe, it becomes a death trap to you. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.